Hey guys, it's Rebecca. This is the last makeup type video for Halloween that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be talking makeup I wear for Samhain and for ritual and for pagan events. I will also be discussing jewelry, makeup choices, and clothing. So if you're interested to see what somebody like me who's been pagan for 29 years does for events, and especially for Samhain or Halloween, however you prefer to call it, then keep watching, because that's what this is. I will be doing an entire talk through. The air just kicked off as soon as I hit the record button, so that's what I was waiting on. I've already done my upper and bottom waterline with the Monster liner from Ardency Inn. It's just a black liner, and I have, what are you, Tarte Big Ego mascara on just my top lashes so far. Now, coming from somebody who has been as a participant in many different events over the years, or somebody who's also done vending at events and stuff, there's a couple of different makeup choices that I make when it comes to doing events. Also, location matters. So depending on whether or not you're going to be inside a building or in nature, which is usually where most of the events occur. There's only been a couple of like witches balls that happen like inside an actual like building or a gym or an auditorium or something like that. But for the most part, you are outside in nature where there are bugs and heat, and I'm in Florida, so Halloween is usually quite chilly after the sun goes down, and that's usually when there's a big bonfire going and we gather. Usually as the sun's setting is when we all start getting in position. So when it comes to makeup, inside makeup is going to be completely different than outside makeup. I'm going to be doing outside makeup today, and then after this I'm going to go record my last Halloween video for this season, and that is talking about the event, the holiday, where it began, bits of information about history on it, and what I believe and what I follow. So you're going to get a pagan's perspective on Halloween and the holiday and what it means to me in the next video. That will be my last Halloween video, and then the video that you'll see after that, which will be November 1st, will be one of my like funny videos. It'll be me taking off one of the more intricate makeup looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. First of all, when you do makeup for outside events, again, you need to worry about what the weather is going to be like. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be undercover? Most of the stuff, you have like some locations where you go to and it's completely open air. Sometimes they have pop-ups or 10 by 10s or 10 by 20s that you can hang out under. Some people, when they do them at their houses, they have people in the house and out of the house. It just depends on where you're going. There's a beautiful earthwork home down in it's just past New Smyrna Beach. So if you're on A1A and you've got New Smyrna Beach, it's the next town over. It's like Palm something. It's been 20 years since I've been there. Anyways, it's a beautiful dome earthwork home that's there. And we were at their home for an event about 20 years ago. And it's an amazing home. But then my friend Valerie, who goes by Kadea, she had, her and her mom owned property in New Smyrna Beach. And so we used to do a lot of events with Rowan Grove at her house. And she had, these houses were amazing because they were all screened in. There was roofs over everything. We would set up 10 by 10s on the perimeter, like where the stairs and stuff came down. And then of course we did a huge bonfire and stuff. And they had, they were living in like a rather swampy area. So there was like a little creek that ran through and a little pond and stuff. It was really, really beautiful. And my mom, who I call mom, Donna, she met me a week before that at the Volusia County, I think it was Volusia County Pagan Pride Day she met me at. And then she ended up coming to this event and didn't even know I was going to be there. I didn't know she was going to be there. And when she got out of her car, I was literally 30 something feet off the ground in a tree helping do hurricane prep and storm prep before we did ceremony that night. Because we always did like group events with yard cleanup and whatnot. If we were going to be at somebody's house, we always, as a group, went and did home repairs, gardening, things like that, trying to prepare not only the area for foot traffic, but also to give back to the homeowners that we were utilizing their property of. It's one of those things that when you take from nature, you really need to give something back. And I'm giving myself goosebumps. I need to stop. Okay, so makeup. For me, it was always simple, glowy, ethereal makeup with a hint of dark. Some people went all out and they wore full faces of foundation and did their hair and did makeup and all, and lashes and all that kind of stuff. Some people did. Very rarely did they. The other thing is a lot of people didn't wear any face makeup at all. No foundations, no powders, no concealers, no nothing. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm going to be doing blush and highlights and eyes, and that's basically it for the makeup aspect of it. Also, when I did pagan events, I had like a lip gloss or a lip stain that I would put on, and then I always carry a chapstick with me. So that would be my lip. So I'm gonna be using a clear lip gloss, getting into that. As far as makeup goes, we're gonna start with the face first. I had to find which one of these had blush in it. The one with the business logo. All right, so I'm gonna be just going into this. This is the Lottie London Zane blush right here. I'm gonna be going into that. And I know when a lot of people do like pagan makeup or Halloween makeup, they go all out. Pagans don't wear a whole lot of makeup, to be honest. Witches most likely don't wear any makeup. A few of us do. But for the most part, it's more about natural and nature and reconnecting with the earth and the elements and things like that. I put makeup on because don't you even think about coming back on. I would wear makeup for events because I was also a vendor at most of these events. And so I was also selling my makeup at these events. And I did sell quite a bit of my makeup and handmade jewelry, and I did like lotions and aromatherapy stuff. I sold a lot of that stuff at pagan events. And that's what I did for side income when I wasn't working in the salon, was I was selling my handmade items to other pagans like me. And so I did a pretty okay business. I mean, I definitely did enough to cover gas and expenses to get there, and then the event fee and that kind of stuff. Because you also had to pay, you paid for the events and you also paid to get in, and that also helped with like site cleanup and repairs and toilet paper, hand soap, you know, all the fun stuff that a lot of people don't talk about when you do pagan events. Now, when it comes to highlight, the glowier the better. So I'm going to be mixing stuff. This is one from Terra Moons. I do not recommend this brand, but it is a beautiful highlighter, and it's like only half filled. But I'm going to be mixing that with this one here. This is Nebula from, I think, City Color or NYX. Let me look. City Color. And there's the house phone again, probably with another damn Trump bullshit. And the air's fixing to kick back on. Okay, I waited for the air to kick off. I went ahead and put lip gloss on and finished the highlight. Now, the reason for the ooh blingy highlight is because if I was to go to a pagan event, I would be basically candle lit. I would be outside, I would be by a fire. So the more bling that there is, the more you like glow. So hence the collarbone, the neck, and the extreme highlight on the face. And it's like a purple and blue shift. The one is a blue highlighter, the other one's a purple highlighter. Now for the eyes, that's a little different. I'm going to be using this like black here with shimmer in it, and I'm going to be going over it with a loose pigment after. And I did run the metallic silver through my brows to give them also a little bit of a glow. So I'm going to start with the black shade. This isn't very like black, but I'm going to tap this on my lid just to put something down. I did a makeup look this morning, so all I have on my face is moisturizer. I even did my eyelids just to be safe. And then I'll start talking jewelry while I do this part. Now, when it comes to jewelry, a lot of people wear whatever symbols they have for their religion. And when you have a large group gathering, you're going to have people that are different beliefs underneath the same umbrella of paganism. So just because, again, it's like 98 degrees here in Florida, so the air is going to kick back on. Because some people have varying beliefs, whether it's more Daedric or more Druidic or more Celtic. Some are Native American. Some people follow the, there's like so many different paths. It's like, think about Christianity. You have Lutheran and Methodist and Presbyterian and Baptist and Southern Baptist. And then of course you've got the Catholics and the Roman Catholics. They're all like the same type of religion. They're all Christian religions. Pagans have the same thing. We all follow different things. I mean, even Satanism is considered pagan. Some people believe that, but most likely you won't find them at any type of witchy type gathering. Or at least I've never run across any that are open about it. If they, and people that are Satanists are usually pretty proud that they're Satanists and very set in their ways. I dated one for a long while, and he was actually an amazing guy. And he used to play the hell out of his guitar. So they're not all bad people. They just have different beliefs than you do from the next person. Now, when it comes to jewelry, for me, it's all about protection. Because I'm an empath, for one. Two, I'm what most people would consider an energy vampire. So when I get around large groups of people, where'd the other, oh, I left it. I grabbed all the other brushes, but the one I needed. When I get around large groups of people, I pull energy from everybody. So I end up picking up everybody else's energy, all their anxiety, all their thoughts, their feelings, everything that they basically wear on their sleeve ends up on me. And I have to go hug a tree for 10 years in order to get rid of it. And I always end up with a migraine. So every time I do any type of like public event, I always end up having to like decompress and like not talk to anybody for like 2 weeks and spend lots of time in nature and grounding and that kind of thing, which I do have a video for what grounding is coming. I had my friend Michelle ask me what the hell that was and how it works. And so I told her I would film a video on it. So I have to be very careful when it comes to being around other people. So things that are considered grounding stones like hematite, smoky quartz, cleansing stones like kyanite and selenite are things that I would normally carry. Bloodstone is also very good at keeping yourself grounded and keeping you from picking up other people's energies. And then I have personal stones that mean certain things to me that I usually wear to help cleanse the energy around me so that I'm not picking up everything, which I have a really bad habit of doing. And even in all the years I have been pagan, I have yet to figure out how to control that. I even do it with animals. When an animal is sick, I end up healing them and taking their sickness away. It also is a bad habit of mine when I do Reiki on people, which is a form of energy healing, that I end up drawing out of them all the stuff that's making them sick, and I end up taking it in, and it ends up making me sick. The shadow is so old, it's patchy. Well, so, as an example, this is a selenite sphere that I ended up wire wrapping. And I'll get into what stones are on it in a minute. When it comes to wearing jewelry for Wicca, Wiccans, witchcraft, some of the pagan people that I know, we stick with a couple of common metals. One of them is silver. Silver is a pretty neutral grounding metal. It will help energies that are positive flow, so you're not getting any type of blockages. With some metals, you can get blocked with energy, and so some people avoid certain metals just for the simple fact that when you're doing any type of energy work, you can't get your flow of energy out because your jewelry is stopping the energy movement. Another really good, which is also, it's a grounder and a very good conductor, especially when it comes to pagan stuff. It's a grounder when it comes to like electricity stuff, is copper. My selenite sphere is actually wire wrapped with copper wire for a very good reason. Silver is also, like I said, it's something that we normally use to help with energy flow. Copper is a good grounder. It keeps us centered. It keeps us focused on what we're working on. But again, it also stops negative energies from interacting outside of our bodies and or interacting inside our bodies from outside sources. So copper and silver are some of the normal metals that you would see with pagan jewelry. That's why a lot of us wear silver. All right, so the air just kicked off again. I went ahead and finished up the eyes. I was using this Marsk Foiled Again shadow in, oh, it just says Foiled Again. It's like a loose shadow. I also dug out my Spellbound Super Shot Cheek Highlighter from ColourPop, and I finished off my lashes again with the Big Ego Mascara from Tarte. Now, and that's it. I went ahead and put on what I would normally wear for Samhain. I have another dress that's similar to this that actually has a hood on it that's a light green color that I wear for like things like Maven and Beltane and, you know, things like that. Now, for Samhain, I wear different jewelry for Samhain than I do for some of the other holidays. Now, this is a piece of bloodstone on my wrist, and it has hematite on the entire surface of this, and it is also wire wrapped. My earrings have the same stones on them that this does. These are copper with sterling silver. The wire wrap job, I have aragonite, I have green aventurine, I have tiger's eye, malachite, sodalite, Dalmatian jasper. I've got snowflake obsidian on here. I have rainbow fluorite. I have rainbow tourmaline on here, yellow turquoise, amethyst, more bloodstone. I've got some kiwi jasper on here and some garnet. This actually is one of the Celtic designs that I usually wear. It is filled with oil that is neroli, or they call it bitter orange oil. It's a light orange, citrus flavored, and there's a little cotton pad in there that you drop the oil in a hole, and between your body heat and things like that, it'll disperse the oil. It's just one of the fragrances I usually prefer. It's also really good at cleansing energies. Sometimes I put bergamot in there, but also bergamot you cannot use directly on the skin unless you diffuse it quite profusely, because of the fact that it is very photosensitizing to the skin, and it can actually cause you 2 or 3 days later after you wear it to burn severely in those areas where you applied it. Most people apply perfume on their wrists, their neck, things like that, and then they go out in the sun a couple of days later. Even if you go home, you shower, whatever, you think that you wash it off, 2 or 3 days later you notice that you've got weird burns on you, and you're like, where the hell did those come from? It's the essential oil you put on your skin, dummy. So be careful with using oils directly on the skin. Always diffuse them in something else, whether it's a lotion, like 1 drop in enough lotion to do your arms, your legs, your chest, your back, your everything. Or you can mix it with like alcohol and spray it on you. Alcohol is going to disappear, but cutting it with alcohol, do a 75 to 25% mixture. I would actually even recommend doing a 10% to 90% alcohol, because you don't want it so strong it's going to burn the skin. Some people mix it with other things, or you can do like a sachet and then just wear the sachet around your neck. So this is what I would normally look like for a pagan event. No bronzer, no concealer, no foundation, no lip color. Mainly it's eyes and glowy and ethereal. The shade I used up here ended up mixing with the black, which is not what I wanted. So I did run that over with the Spellbound shade. But this is it. This is, and my hair down. For me to move energy the way that I do, I need to be able to feel the elements. I am an air sign. I can work with air. I work with most of the elements except for fire. Fire and I have some issues. I can use wind to control fire, but when it comes to actually moving fire itself without the aid of wind, I can't do it. I can move water. I can work with the earth. I can do healing on plants and trees and animals and things like that. But when it comes to fire, fire and I are polar opposites, so, which is understandable. I am definitely an air sign through and through. I have a tendency to do neat tricks with the weather around my body when it comes to concentration. When it's cold outside, I can walk outside in my skivvies and basically put a bubble around me so that if you were to stick your hand like 5 feet away from me, it feels 32 degrees. You stick your hand within 4 feet of me and you realize it's a whole other temperature. That's a talent I have. I think it's awesome. Also keeps me from freezing because anything below 75 and I'm cold. So I'm gonna stand up so you can see. And this I got it at Walmart. It's one of those like door covers that look like a puck. So this is it. It's a really long black dress. I usually wear my Birkenstocks with it, or I go, of course those usually come off at some point anyways because I'm usually barefoot when I do ritual. Of course, if I do rings, they're all silver. Some silver with gemstones, but for the most part, if I do rings at all, it's going to be silver. Copper doesn't do too well on my hands. I have a tendency to also kill watches and batteries in watches. So for me, this is normally what I would look like to go to a pagan event. So if you ever saw me at a pagan event, this is 99.9% of the time what I would look like. If I went to the Witches Ball down in Orlando, you would see me look like this. People in the pagan community also know me by a whole other name. I was given my pagan name from my great grandmother, who I just posted pictures on Instagram the other day. I went by her gravesite. She was born in Canada. She was French Canadian. So yeah, my pagan name comes from her. My Native American name comes from my shamanistic trainer out of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm very appreciative to all the training that he did with me over the years, and I finally earned my Native American name. So I do have one of those as well. So I'm gonna go record the next part, which will be my last video, which will be going up on Samhain, the battery and the camera died. So I'm gonna go get that recorded, and then I'm gonna be live streaming right after that. I got a package in the mail and my friend wants me to live stream the unbagging of it. So I will be doing that as well, looking like this. Blessed be to those who follow the path, love and light to everybody else. I am pagan. Screw off air. Like I said, it's 98 degrees here in Florida. I've been pagan since 1991. I am a card-carrying witch. I have supported many pagan organizations that spread religious freedom. They teach different religions, things like that. I have been through seminary. I am an ordained minister, and not just one of those you go online and you print out a certificate kind of thing. I'm talking classes and everything. So I'm the real deal, man. I don't normally dress in a whole lot of black. I'm more of a pastels person, but I like to be comfortable. So whatever's comfortable, I will wear it. I have no preference on color. So anyways, I'm sending healing energies to everybody out there. It's been a very hard week and a half for me. Leading up to Samhain is very difficult for me health-wise, because there's so much energy going on in the world with the veil thinning, with our year ending, that I end up drawing all of that in. So I am just walking energy at that point, or I should be floating with how much energy I've taken in the past 2 weeks. Especially the full moon coming also doesn't help me. So anyways, I will see you guys later. If you want more informational videos about me, my religion, what I follow, things like that, I don't usually do a whole lot of that on this channel. It's mainly beauty content. But let me know, and I will be more than happy to see what you're interested in and film videos on it. Yeah, I've been pagan a long time. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Blessed be.